Today it's all about layering stamps to create a silhouette and a little bit more. Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and it's an Altenew release today, and they've got this ink blending tool which made me think it'd be fun to do a silhouette style card. And for any silhouette you need a background, and I was wanting to try this tool out. It's a really soft, it's kind of like the hand brushes, but it's all flat on the edges, and it comes in this carry case and it feels really nice. Now, blending ink is a dream with our ink blending tool. It features soft white bristles and an ergonomically designed handle to help you seamlessly blend ink without experiencing hand fatigue. Clean with gentle soap and water and air dry. Let's see how it goes. I've got a couple of fun colours here, and I thought I'm going to actually try blending on the Neenah. This is the 110 pound. I have never had any luck blending on Neenah. I've had less luck blending on Neenah with the Altenew inks, and I thought, well, why not give it a go? Because I like having all my white cardstocks the same white, and the problem with the Bristol or the watercolour cardstocks is they aren't as white as the Neenah. So I really had trouble leaving lines on the paper. Do you know what I mean? You know, with the blending brushes and the blending tools, I still leave lines from the edge of the brush. This didn't do that at all, and because it's so big, it covered a big area in no time. I was so impressed with this. I didn't think I needed any more blending tools. And to be honest, it's too big to get in intricate areas of a stencil, say, or if you just wanted to do a small section. But if you want to do a whole background like this, seriously, this took no time at all. I'm on my silicone mat here, so I did just wipe it away in between the colours so I didn't mix the colours from the edges of the colour, the edges of the cardstock. And I was even picking up the colour and adding it direct to the cardstock, not coming from the edge and onto the cardstock. And I still couldn't get any lines. So I am really impressed. And these are such pretty colours. I have like a tropical kind of card to share with you today, but we'll get to that shortly. But I thought these two sets of colours, it's the seashore and the golden sunset colours that I've used here, worked really well for that sort of tropical feel. Now, I cleaned the brushes off on just some paper towel here. I know it says you can wash them, but I'm lazy. So I actually enjoyed making the background so much that I wanted to do a second one, because I wanted to test that it wasn't just luck. I wanted to test that this really works, and I wanted to also try out whether the colour would hold within the brush, because I only just cleaned it by wiping it on the towel. And I know this lemon one didn't make much difference because it is the same as the other colour almost that I used, so it didn't contaminate. But can you see that the brushes actually hang in the holders? They don't touch the bottom, so they're not going to be contaminated. Here's the real test though. This is the one that I had the seashore set on, and I'm going for Pinkalicious. And there's no cross-contamination at all. I was thrilled. This is on the 110 pound Neenah yet again, and I just kept adding colour until I got the depth that I want. I added colour across the middle to mix the two, because I only used two colours here. And I have another card at my blog. Actually, I have a few cards, but I did use this panel on one of my other cards today. So head over there, this is part of a hop, to check out all the details for the hop and have a look at my 3 other cards that I've made. Time to silhouette. Now, I don't think I've ever done this before, and it kind of struck me as why hadn't I ever done this before? But the stamp layering stamps are perfect to create silhouettes with. Now, this is the Birds of Paradise set, and it has 2 different flowers. And I have masked my first flower off. I'm doing all my stamping directly onto the panel, and the panel is actually the same size nearly as a card base. But this is the actual layering diagram. I'm only going to use the layers to fill in the black spaces with, or the silhouette I should say, with my obsidian ink. Now I'm using some acetate here to make sure that I've lined up my stamp perfectly before I commit and stamp it with the obsidian. And this is just a really easy way to make sure that you've got it right before you actually stamp. The good thing about stamping with black ink is it can be saved, and you'll see how I do that a little bit later on. But this is actually quite an easy stamp to layer up. If I was doing all the layers for the flowers, I would probably do it in my Misty and cut a bunch at once, because each flower does have quite a few different layers within it, but it's so totally worth it. The Bird of Paradise is such a pretty flower, and I thought would make a beautiful silhouette as well. This time I have added a second large flower, and I thought it'd just be easier to stamp both at the same time if I'm going to be going back and forth between the layers. I think there's a total of 3 silhouettes. I didn't really have to stamp the outline of the silhouette. I just thought it was going to help me with placement of all my little pieces, but you could certainly miss that step. If you wanted to even change it up a little bit, you could easily do that. Now here's how I fix my little mistake that I did make. I just use a Copic multiliner. You could use a black Sharpie, whatever you have. And the other thing I thought would look nice would be to do the silhouettes in a really dark navy blue, like I think it's called Desert Night. It's just beautiful. But I did add a simple sentiment. I went back and forth between sentiments. I couldn't make up my mind. But this is from the Thinking of You set. I thought it would make a beautiful, maybe even a sympathy card, or just a how are you doing card. And I've added that to the front of a landscape side fold card and got some jet black spiders here. I did protect my sentiment with some cardstock when I did that, because I've had that happen before. Thanks so much for joining me today. Click on the thumbs up button if you did enjoy this video, and it'd be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you here again soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.